So hey, today I'm going to be talking about the one subject that I've avoided talking about for probably a year now, and that's the subject of COVID-19 and how did we get ourselves into this position as a race, as the human race. How did this become a global pandemic? Now, I'm not going to come at it from all of the angles you've heard. I'm going to come at it from around the back door, as I like to call it. So my name's Tony V. I'm from the 10-10 movement, and the 10-10 movement is about taking areas of your life where you currently might be struggling and moving that to living more what I call a 10 out of 10 life experience, having a more successful life. So yeah, let's talk health and why we have this pandemic right now. So for me, if I come round the back door and forget everything that you've watched on the news, the one thing I believe that's given the human race this problem is that we have given our power, what I would call our personal power, away. So who have we given it away to? Well, I often ask this question at my seminars. Look, if you're sick, what do you do? And what's the number one answer? I go to the doctors. So here's the big problem. What we're doing is we're going through our life until we become sick, and then we're relying on somebody else to fix us. And that has become what happens certainly in the Western world and, stretches of other parts of the world that are not so capital minded, should we call it. So look, giving our power away is, in my opinion, a massive mistake. And if we hadn't done it, I believe we would never be in this position. So why have we given our power away? It's interesting, it started way back in the 1600s where suddenly there was something that happened to the human race en masse, again, mostly Western world. And that was our brain started to operate differently, and we switched almost to giving away our power to science. And look, I'm not going to knock science, it's a wonderful thing, but we gave the responsibility of our well-being to others. And that was a cataclysmic experience that has led to us being in this situation today. So let me give you a couple examples of why I'm so certain this is the case. Now, before you turn off, please just listen up. I've been coaching people for coming on 20 years now. And what I do in my coaching is help people that are looking at something in a certain way to see it from a different perspective, like see it from a different angle. And suddenly when they do that, they're sometimes like the penny will drop, as we call it. They have like a moment, a breakthrough, a light bulb moment that, oh, right, okay, that's what I'm doing. And suddenly they get some new energy, some new power, and they start making decisions in a completely different way. So let me look at it like this. When we started to move towards science, and of course at the moment, we as a human race have put all our power in the hands of the scientists. You hear it every day. Every day we have put all our energy into that. What have we done as individuals to make sure that we are healthy, not just from COVID, but from every other disease? Well, nothing. I often say, what happened to health on the curriculum when we go to school? Look, we're all concerned about school right now, but what do they teach us? They're teaching us geography, they're teaching us history. Are they teaching us how to be healthy? Absolutely not. That is a travesty in my world. I say, do they teach us about money? No, that is a travesty. Do they teach us about relationships, intimate relationships, and how we should bring up our family? Absolutely not. It's not even on the curriculum. And that is a travesty. All of this. But if we just take the health element, because we've given our energy to science, and if we get broken, we get fixed, what we've lost is an education on how to live a healthy, happy, fulfilled life. And to be honest, there are some basic fundamentals that you don't need a doctorate in to just take responsibility. Now, if there's two key things that you could know right now It's like so obvious, but so few people are doing it. I would say, conservatively, if 5% of people, that's 5 out of 100, that know this and live it and take action and like live a life in a different way to the multitude, they be the ones that are the least likely to get sick, ill, or whatever, and actually ever need to go to a doctor. So what are they doing that the average person's not doing? Well, the first thing they're doing is they're taking responsibility for their own health. They've done some learning about what it takes to keep this amazing body, this amazing being, this amazing life healthy, happy, and fulfilled. So what are the two things? So the two key things in my world are what we put past our lips. It is absolutely proven, although kept in less in the public domain. You only have to dig a little bit to find out that the average diet of the average person living in the Western world is making them sick. So you go, wow, right, so if we've given responsibility of our health to the medical industry, who I'm not knocking, they do a great job, yeah? We've also given responsibility for what we put past our lips to another bunch of people, and we're assuming that what they're giving us or what we're sold or what we purchase is actually good for us. And the truth is, it's absolutely not. So we need to find out and do a bit of work on what is going to keep me healthy. It's simple. You just take responsibility. This body needs like fuel. Now let's just say you buy yourself a diesel car. If you buy yourself a diesel car, obviously we're all going electric. I have an electric car, yeah? But anyway, it's just a metaphor, yeah? And you go into the garage and you put petrol into a car that runs on diesel. What happens when you get in after you've paid for your fuel and turn it? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't work. So you have to put the right fuel in. If you've got a petrol car, you put petrol in. If you've got a diesel car, you put diesel in. We need the right fuel, and what we're doing is we're putting the wrong fuel that makes us sick. Now, it doesn't make us sick today, it makes us sick over a long period of time. You know, for some people it can be quite a short time, but other people it could be like 30, 40, 50 years before you get sick. Then we go to the doctor and say, can you fix me please? But hold on a minute, I've been putting the wrong fuel in my body for 50 years. Because guess what? No one when I was at school taught me about food either. Fundamental part of a healthy life is to understand what keeps you healthy, yeah? So another thing that got left off of the curriculum. Now, the other thing that is absolutely fundamental to you having a healthy life is that you have a healthy immune system. And your immune system is absolutely capable, as it is with most people. Look, the predominant amount of people that have COVID, their immune system overcomes it. Like, we're talking very small percentages. All of the scientists, you know, your Chris and those guys who have done an amazing job, they will tell you that only the tiniest percentage of people actually end up dying. And it's because the virus overwrites or overruns their whole system. If your immune system is in tip-top condition, which is your responsibility. But the problem is we have stopped taking responsibility for our own immune system. So once we don't take responsibility, we forget all about it. We start feeding it stuff that makes it weaker and weaker and weaker. When something like COVID comes along, then the weakest ones of us with the weakest systems are the ones that are going to suffer most. Now, it doesn't, look, you're not going to find many doctors that are going to disagree with me. The truth is, we have just been not educated about some of this stuff. So we need to start to educate ourselves. Now, the second thing is, so food being the first thing, the second thing is the way you're thinking. The way you think massively, not just a little bit, but massively affects the health of your life. So it's because like we are, I've always said, we are like a chemistry set. And our brain produces chemicals and hormones that affect our chemical set. Now, I'll ask you one question. I think I know the answer. When you think of COVID, do you think the energy of the population, if you start to use the talk about COVID, do you think their energy goes up and they become happier, healthier and more fulfilled just talking about it? Do they stay the same, or do they go more into a place of fear, worry, anxiety and all of that sort of stuff? Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with me that the energy of the population has gone down as we see flashed up on our screens, death, disaster, all of that sort of stuff. Because what that does, that creates a thinking cycle in our head that sends us into our fight and flight mode. So we, when we are in fear, create a set of chemicals that weaken our immune system. So now not only is the food that we're putting in our mouth weakening our immune system, our thinking is creating a weakened immune system as well. And this makes us vulnerable to dis-ease. Dis-ease is how it all happens. Now, it affects different people in different ways, of course, but there are a lot of, autoimmune system diseases that are common diseases that you see. But look, basically our thinking creates what we would call stress, which creates us to have adrenaline and cortisol into our system, which massively weakens our system. And that weakening of our system makes us sick. So this is when we haven't taken responsibility for our thinking, we haven't taken responsibility for our food. But look, to be honest, we haven't been educated. So how did we know that we needed to do this? Then when we get sick, we go to the doctors. So then we put our hands, ourselves in the hands of science, who we then hope is going to fix us with, drugs or, operations or whatever it is that they've got in their toolkit. But look, we're already broken. That's like taking your car, to the garage because it's broken down. Can you please fix it? I don't know anything about cars. Whereas actually, if you maintain the car, you take it to the garage, they look after it, it's way less likely to break down than if you just drive it like a mad thing until it breaks down, then take it to the garage and then they go to you, right, you need a new engine or you need a new this or a new that because you haven't looked after it. It's the same. This is a beautiful machine, an unbelievable living machine, which we need to learn how to look after. So look, I feel like I've been on a bit of a rant there, and I just trust that somewhere you go, yeah, this guy, I sort of understand him. Yeah, I didn't learn anything about food. I didn't learn anything about how to look after my inner world, my thinking, my system. I don't know how it works, yeah? I don't know how to really, look after, say, my money or my relationship. These are fundamental parts of our life that we don't understand. And that is what the 10-10 movement is all about. It's about taking these areas of life which we haven't been taught about and learning a bit about them and then moving us towards living a more 10 out of 10 life experience. That's healthy, happy and fulfilled in life. Disease-free, living a great life, having a great experience in all areas of our life. Now, if you haven't already done the 10-10 life check, I'll encourage you to go to the website and do the test. Find out where you are in different areas of your life. And when you do that, the 10-10 movement is a charity. There is no cost to this at all. You will get a series of videos which will help you improve different areas of your life. So that's it really from me, Tony V, from the 10-10 movement. If it's your first time here, please do hit the subscribe button if you want to get more contentious stuff about life and how you can live it to a fuller, more healthy, happy, fulfilled way. And hit the notification bell as well, because when you hit the notification bell, every time we're doing something on here, whether we're doing a live or there's a new video goes up, you get a notification so you won't miss anything out. So as I say, that's it from me, Tony V. I'll see you on the next video.